When it comes to finances, it's important to determine the state of your finances initially and map out where you want to go. So you can have some type of goals that you can reach on your way to being fiscally responsible. When it comes to being a good steward of your money, it's crucial to notice the signs that you're on your way to being a wealthy individual. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Stannis. I make financially related YouTube videos to help spread financial education. Here are a few signs that you're doing financially well, and stay till the end of the video to hear a little extra on this topic. First off, you budget and actively adhere to limits you have put on yourself to focus more of the money into things that you find crucial in the development of your life and your future. Having a budget doesn't seem like much, but keep in mind only 32% of households prepare a monthly budget. When you see numbers like this, it's no wonder why most Americans do not have an emergency fund and are living paycheck to paycheck. Some people might have never heard of a budget or what it means, but if you are knowledgeable about this topic, you understand how money comes into and out of your life without questioning yourself at the end of the month about where all your money went. Now that we are in an era where most people in the US have the means to afford a phone, it's not easier than ever to track your expenses, especially when most banking apps will track your expenses and your income. If you prefer to set budget and track it on the app, there also are apps for that type of experience, or you could use pen and pencil as well. It's really whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever makes you actually make a budget. Number 2, you have at least 50% of your income after all your expenses are paid off. By having expendable money, you are able to focus the extra money on investments or improve the overall quality of your life. You have more control over your life than somebody who's barely making it, and you can take on new opportunities and experiences more often without worrying if you're going to be able to pay off the bills this month. This will also come with a sense of relief and a security that you will be able to pay off your necessary liabilities quite easily. Number 3, you own a credit card or credit cards that give you points or cash back while also paying off the balance every month so you do not have to pay any interest to the bank. Being able to use a credit card like a debit card is quite the power, especially if you have access to a great rewards card and intro offers, because you'll be able to get a great amount of points up front, which could be worth $300 to $2,000 depending on how much you get and how you redeem your points. Only people who are financially reliable will be able to pull this tactic off without losing value or money to the credit card companies, because they will maintain their average spend per month to hit the bonus, and they refuse to carry any balance so they can avoid interest charges. Credit card companies know that they can't win with the smart ones, but there's an abundance of people who are willing to accept fees and pay interest payments. So the credit card companies don't mind the ones that are just using it as a benefit, because the majority of people make credit card companies profitable. Using credit cards smartly is one of the many opportunities that are given to the financially responsible, and I hope you will also join in on this advantage. Number 4, you have a reliable paid-off car. Having a paid-off car allows you to save money on a car payment that would have been on average around $500 to $700 depending on the car you get and the term of your loan. This gives you more flexibility, as we discussed before, and now you can change your car insurance coverage to lower amounts if you think it's reasonable, because it's no longer owned by your lender, so you do not need to meet their coverage requirements, you just got to meet yours. A bonus to having a paid-off car is that you save money by no longer having to pay interest on your loan. Even though your car will depreciate over time, it is still an asset that is under your name, which can be sold later on to buy another car. Or if you want to avoid the market completely, you can just use your car till it is no longer reliable. If you want to avoid major depreciation when buying a car, buy an older, reliable car, so most of the depreciation is taken up front and you're just left with the vehicle, and slowly it will depreciate over time, but you won't take the majority of the depreciation up front. But don't be too cheap while buying a car, because you also want to get a car that is reliable, and you don't want to deal with mechanical problems down the line either. Number 5, having a credit score above 700. It can be difficult to bring up a credit score after it being brought down, so it's important to always pay your minimum payments and never miss a payment and not bite off more financial responsibility than you could afford. By having a good credit score, you will be able to have a higher credit limits, lower interest rates, and more purchasing and negotiating power. Having lower interest rates will help you lower the interest rate for your loan for when you decide to borrow money for big purchases like cars, houses, or credit cards. By being a reliable borrower, you can save yourself thousands of dollars of interest on a loan, so pay off your debts and begin to be aware of your credit score sooner than later. Number 6, you have retirement accounts and or assets in your name. According to Gallup poll, the average age investors start saving is 29 years old, and only 26% of people start investing before the age of 25. It's important to start investing as soon as possible so you can allow your savings to grow exponentially over time. Nobody wants to be forced to work forever, so having investments early on will help you be able to eventually leave your job without worrying about an income. Investing might be scary at first, but it's necessary to learn about it if you want to break out of the 9 to 5 lifestyle. Number 7, you own a home and you're able to pay off the mortgage consistently. Like investments, real estate is a form of investing, and it can be quite challenging to save enough for a down payment and buy something you would like to live in for a few years. For most people, this will be the biggest financial decision someone makes, so a lot of research should go into it before buying a property. Owning a home allows you to gain more control of your living spaces and have longer stability. You will also be able to take advantage of tax breaks that renters will not be able to take advantage of. You will also be able to rent out rooms that are not in use for some extra profit, and you will be able to take advantage of appreciation over time. Number 8, you have little liabilities and an abundance of assets. On average, Americans in between the ages of 18 to 23 have $16,000 worth of debt. 24 to 39 years old, they have $87,000 worth of debt. 40 to 55, they have $140,000 worth of debt. Ages 56 to 74, around $97,000 worth in debt. And ages of 75 and above, around $41,000 in debt. As we know, liabilities will take our money away from us and therefore force us to work for longer periods of time. A financially smart person notices these depreciating vessels and will pay them off immediately and will avoid them completely. Just some more amplifying information on seeing signs of financial wealth later on in life. It's going to take time, guys. No matter what you do, it's going to take time. There are ways to make it go faster, but generally, if you want to see life-changing amounts of money, it's going to take some time. Don't be discouraged if you're older or you're younger, right? And you barely started anything on your financial journey. It's a work in progress, right? So as long as you are willing to start today, if you're willing to take financial responsibility of your future today, then no matter what, you're going to get through it. You'll notice more opportunities come your way once you actually start caring about your finances, right? A lot of problems stem from not caring about your finances or just pushing it off to the side and be like, oh yeah, I make this amount of money, it's okay, I'll be fine. Yeah, as long as, like it's all good, my finances are good, I just have enough to pay off my bills and I have enough money for what I want. That's kind of a problem, right? Because you don't understand where all your money is going to, and you're just kind of, you're making it happen. Also, I want you guys to keep in mind that not every single sign that you see for yourself or other people see that you're achieving are going to be that big and flashy as buying a car or buying a house, right? It could be something as small as just having a budget and just getting a couple of credit cards and just retrieving points and going on trips and stuff. Or you just having a very good credit score and being able to pull out loans with very low interest rates compared to people who have lower interest rates. It's also very nice to have an abundance of money, right? Just in case there is an emergency, you're able to pay off that emergency rather easily, and you don't have to worry about it. You also don't have to ask friends or relatives for money, right? That can be kind of stressful on that relationship, especially if you are constantly asking somebody for money. Yeah, at a certain point, you're old enough to actually start paying for your bills and all your liabilities, right? And you got to be responsible. You got to be responsible for those liabilities. So you got to depend on yourself to actually come through and pay off your liabilities. By also being financially responsible in this aspect, right? You're keeping your finances out of your relationships, which is very important for keeping relationships, because there are plenty of relationships that are destroyed by finances in general. And you just don't want to get that into the mix, right? If your friend is willing to give you some money, yeah, that's your friend, right? And they shouldn't really expect the money back, depending on what it is. But no matter what it is, it's going to put a strain in the relationship, especially if it happens multiple times. So keeping away from that is very important. If you have encountered these milestones, then go ahead and drop it down in the comment section and tell me what you guys are up to achieving next. Before I let you all go, I just want to say that it's not about how much money you have today or if you meet a couple of these examples or even none. It's all about improving your situation and not allowing yourself to stay in a situation when you know you deserve better, and that a life of debt and always being on the edge due to lack of money is not for you. If you begin your journey today, I promise you will see all these accolades as you go through your journey.